Now with third party logistics provider, this is the evolution in industry. If you would see that earlier companies would own the assets in house, right? So insourcing, right, owning or renting their own fleet, right? Then it went to third party logistics provider, right? So now 3PLs, they provide all kind of facilities, not only the transportation, mere transportation. They help the companies in making, transportation, warehousing, order processing services, right? They own the trucks, all variety of trucks, multiple capacity heterogeneous vehicles, right? They actually negotiate with multiple customers, they negotiate with multiple suppliers. That's where your milk rind distribution strategies could work. Okay, so because if manufacturer have this policy of just in time on assembly lines, okay, where big companies, they get the deliveries just on the assemblies, maybe twice a day, thrice a day, right? So that means the order might not be of full truckload. Then how is it possible? Maybe two manufacturing plants can collaborate, share the logistics resources, get from same supplier, or other way around, two suppliers supplying to same manufacturing plant. Okay, so these advantages, like helps company in reducing ordering cost also, right? And the transportation cost, basically the transportation component or distribution component of the total ordering cost would come down, and they would be able to get the frequent shipments, less than truckload shipments, okay, which would reduce the bullwhip effect also. So that's why you see that all these advantages across the supply chain can happen. So if one outsource, like this logistics is the function which mostly these days is outsourced, and now we have moved to four party logistics providers, where you would get, like an integrated logistics service, end to end supply chain solution supported with the technologies. Now 4PL might own or might not own the vehicles. Many a times they get outsourced from 3PL, technology partners, ITS companies, and they provide integrated multimodal, right, solutions for the customers. So you can see that, like why now you know that why companies should go for outsourcing for such functions, okay, when they have cost advantage, right? At the same time responsiveness is intact, okay, so why not go for outsourcing, right? So this is all the benefits, and what 3PL service offerings are there, right? So fleet auditing, payment collection, consignment tracking, real time data access, one get such advantages, then why not go for outsourcing, right? The four party logistics, I have said that they would be doing comprehensive end to end supply chain solution, right, where companies, they share, or you can say that logistics resource sharing is done in more flexible management. Okay, so this is what this 4PL is more of a alliances, like where 4PL are considered as more of an integrator, right? Integrated with IT based solutions, not asset based, means they don't need to own the trucks. They again collaborate with 3PL, but along with that they are supporting with the IT or technology solutions. Okay, this is one example of 4PL. This thing one can go this thing. When we talk about outsourcing, there can be many forms, right? We can just go for purchasing of only component service, or we can buy finished goods from the outsourcing partners. It can be merging, it can be acquiring completely, or it can be opening a new factory or facility, right? So this is like increase the, as we move down from this activity, from mere buying to opening a new factory, like or facility, this increases the risk and investment. So I'll give you one example. What is happening these days, like, companies like Intel, right? As we are actually, if you see each and every product we use, what is happening? More and more dependency on semiconductor raw material, right? So now Intel has been facing challenges of making 10 nanometer, 7 nanometer chips, because we want the smallest chips to be like fitted in the very small com- assemblies, right? So to achieve that, companies like Intel, they are in dilemmas. What kind of dilemma, right? So like for any major change in technology, okay, making from 15 nanometer to 7 nanometer of like chips, there can be one option: they just spin off. Okay, but there are billions and billions of dollars spent to completely open a new market, or to bring that sophistication of technology. Okay, the other option can be like they could go for outsourcing. Now where they should go for outsourcing? Where are the suppliers located? Taiwan, right? Now company like Intel based in US, like outsourcing or likely outsourcing in Taiwan, what would be your stand? If you were at Intel position, would you go for Taiwan? So what would, first of all, what would be the dependency? Analyze, the competency. Intel's competency is to provide customized chips. Correct? Now they cannot have that customized, that if those customized chip, which is the like their USP for the customers, right? Now if that has to be outsourced to Taiwan, how easy that decision would be. Okay, that too. Now this is one aspect. Another aspect, what I have asked, what would you think? Would you go to Taiwan? Being situated in US company, will I go to Taiwan? Think about it. Yes or no? You will go to Taiwan? Okay, how many of you are following the economics, like macroeconomic conditions of countries? What is the relationship between US, China, Taiwan? Want to bring another dimension. Whenever one has to go for outsourcing, there are a lot of risks attached to it. Okay, so company like if a company is situated in India, one can think of easily, okay, no matter. But a company like Intel situated in US, and the likely competitive supplier is in Taiwan, should they go for outsourcing in Taiwan? Okay, this is the another thing. The third option is to look for some local producer or another country and subcontract. Okay, so these can be three alternatives: do it yourself, open a new factory, or like spin off completely different subsidiary. Second is go to completely get the business to competitors, like because if you want to do that, you should do it like to the most capable suppliers, right? Taiwan. Or you can subcontract. In subcontract, again your USP, right? That would be compromise. Now what they should do? Pardon? That's what. That's what geopolitical things, like there can be many other risks involved. Okay, so this is what want to bring. So the next dimension, one, when a company, when they go for outsourcing, they have to maintain those challenges. Okay, now in this Intel story, right, keep thinking like what option, what alternative such company should adopt. Okay, so you can see that this is nothing but decisions one has to make for outsourcing. I hope the message is clear, that why and how such decisions are different as compared to your purchasing and sourcing decisions. Okay, so how to decide? So you can actually companies can take two routes, like again I would say it is easier said than done. One is business process route, right? Keep analyzing what business processes you are in, right? What is your core and high level business process, whether the company is known as a customer relationship company, or it is known as innovation company, or they are good at supply chain management. Okay, so one can unbundle, like out of three, like unbundle this three prominent activities, like and focus on one, and rest of the two can be outsourced. So you identify and ensure to build core capabilities in house in at least one of these areas. For example, if you are a customer relationship, like acquiring new customers and building relationship with existing customers, you should focus on brand building and customer relationship, like Nike and Benetton, they are doing. As I've told that they don't have manufacturing, they don't own manufacturing facilities, they are just focusing on marketing. Okay, product innovation, developing new products and services, right? They have nothing to do with like marketing or supply chain. Their focus is only on bringing new products, new technologies, new products to the market. So one should focus only on that business process as their core competency and outsource rest of them. Supply chain management, fulfillment of customer orders, like supply chain management capabilities, how I'm focusing on fulfilling the customer's demand on time in a quick manner, right, like Walmart and Dell are doing. Okay, so this is one model one can use to make outsourcing decision, right? Focus on this one. The another is product architecture route. If you are producing some product, make or buy decisions. Okay, so for example, if your product is car, you can have subsystems like engine, chassis and transportation system. Now for you see here, you can keep on asking questions like a flow chart, like whether my subsystem, now the decision is to be whether to outsource engine production or make in house. So is this engine or subsystem strategic? What do we mean by strategic now? Strategic can be competitive, right? So how we will decide strategic? Am I the producer of this engine, which I'm producing it the best way as far as competition is concerned? How many other competitors are in this field? Or whether I'm known as producing this product in the most cost effective manner. Okay, so that would help you to decide what do you mean by strategic. Now if this is strategic, yes, if it is yes, then can the subsystem be broken into families, right? In supply chain there is another very interesting concept called modular manufacturing or integrated manufacturing. The parts and components which goes into any product, right, if they are like they are assembled, or like they are integrated, like it's like plug and play, like your Legos. Okay, if you cannot disintegrate them like Legos, then it is a very well integrated structure. But if it is in a modular this thing, like you can integrate, so the modular parts can be a part of many other finished goods, right? That is a modular structure. Now one can say that whether subsystem can be broken into families, right? So now those families, one can see whether those families are strategic or not, right? Are you known as a key player in producing those subfamilies? So even if one subfamily, like, if the company is, like, enjoying, the monopoly in that subfamily, and it cannot be broken into families, you are having a, integrative product, then that means, you have to produce the complete subassembly in house. Otherwise, if it is, so families, like, can be broken, yes, now you can see each family which is strategic, yes, make in a house, otherwise outsource. So such kind of flow charts, such kind of decision making can be done. So item critical to success of the product, right, where customer perception is that this is the important product attribute, one can go for outsourcing. Which requires specialized design and manufacturing, where supplies are extremely limited, go for outsourcing. The item that fits well within the firm's core competences, right, or you think that this is our future plan, one can go for uh, in-house, like, no outsourcing for such this thing. These are strategic items, right? So same analysis can be performed at component level. So outsource components if suppliers have huge technologies or lead time, or technology lead, or required enormous time and investments, such activities can be outsourced, right? So what is prerequisite for outsourcing? Competitive analysis, define your competitive advantage, analyze your strategic position as compared to market, industry and competitors, right? But caution here, risk and strategic vulnerabilities. Remember, your supplier are also supplying to your competitors, isn't it? If you would outsource, like, what would happen if Intel would decide to outsource the newly innovative 7nm 10nm chips, to subcontractors? Means, like, you have to share your design, you have to share your capability. It's very risky thing. Very soon your supplier will become your outsourcing partner will become your competitor. Is it something like, a hurt thing? Can your outsourcing partner become your competitor? How Lenovo came into picture? What was Lenovo? Do you know the history of Lenovo? Who was Lenovo? Lenovo was the outsourcing partner of IBM. And now what is Lenovo? Competitor of IBM. So these are the strategic vulnerabilities. Okay, one has to assess that. Okay, so this is supply dominance, strategic vulnerabilities. This is a caution. Outsourcing is good, but it also comes with lot many risks and challenges. Okay, so supplier may exploit the leverage they gain through a relationship. Once you are locked into your suppliers, it may happen supplier resist to revisit the market at some point later, right? So strategic vulnerabilities tend to make outsourced product more generic, tend to lose control over it, degree of passing too much technology, and tends to commoditize the product, right? These are the this thing. So you can list down number of risks, like, of outsourcing, like, in the past companies have, like, compromised on their IP, right, intellectual property rights, right? So one can just list down, like, we have just got that there can be geopolitical risks involved in outsourcing, right? So one can weigh out all the risks of outsourcing, right? Now, many a times we think that outsourcing is only done to lower the total cost, which is not the case. Okay, this is just a myth. One has to remove the myth. So we have seen outsourcing can be done due to take advantage of many other things, like, the language advantage, time zone advantage. Okay, there can be many reasons one can see, right? So there is very interesting model given in a paper on Boeing so the paper is now uploaded in the Moodle, or you can see from the internet, we will be given reference. So they have given very interesting model on outsourcing, that if one has to decide about outsourcing, you analyze, this 4 question: who is going to outsource, what is to be outsourced, to whom it would be outsourced, and how it would be outsourced. Okay, so this framework is very interesting framework, right? This paper is uploaded, please go through that paper, right? We will do the exercise in the next class, but here, this 4 who want to outsource means, when we say who want to outsource, they must, do this capability analysis, if I want to outsource as a company, what is my supplier management capability, what is my technical capability, and what is my stand on intellectual property, what is my financial capability, what is the dependency, right, for a product on possible outsourcing partner, what is my employee talent and flexibility. Okay, and what we are going to outsource, what is the complexity of that product, what is the development cost involved, lead time, criticality, right? So that we can be sure really we want to outsource. Okay, and to whom. So if we want to outsource to outsourcing partner, what is the technology and innovation capability, cost advantage, financial credibility, how they are managing subcontracting, right? That has to be evaluated, and how this is. So mostly, for other parts, parts and components which are commonly available, there we don't get into too much complexity. Many suppliers go for it. But where the issue happens, there were some questions in the class last time, if the purchasing contract and procurement is of like construction projects, where lot many risks and rewards are there, how one can go for this partnership, right? Construction is the best example where we see this outsourcing contracts. Okay, now in this context, this how part is very important. How do we sign, how we develop contracts, what is the contract type, what are the risks and rewards, right? Many companies, if we would go for outsourcing, this name of this collaboration will give them an edge. They are ready to take risk because the product is innovative products. Now you are partner of a big name. Okay, if you are partner of big name, your rewards would be good. Okay, so what kind of risk and rewards arrangement there, what is the outsourcing scope? Okay, what we are going to outsource, are we going to share the confidential information, are we going to keep design with us, are we going to deploy our people to the outsourcing partner and keep the confidential thing and just disclose what can be disclosed, or what is the communication level? Okay, so these things, when we will analyze these things critically, we can be arrive at good outsourcing decision. Okay, now we will apply this framework, read the paper which is uploaded on Moodle. It is very interesting paper. We will apply this model in this real life context of Boeing, okay, in the next class and the last class, right? Yes. Okay, thank you.